Steve, did I tell you that I made a video, a 30-second video, that actually describes what us Milanistas went through this whole like soap opera league? Did I tell you?
No, you didn't. No,
Would you like to see it?
For sure.
Okay, and remember that the music goes according to our situation at Milan.
Okay,
so enjoy. Because there was a war. There was a war. Lady B, you know, yeah. But then again, what happened? Silvio came on. And there you go, Steve. I think that pretty describes our week of Milanistas, right? How we went through this whole soap opera. But hey, what do you want to do? We can't control the situation, but here we go. Cari amici sportivi, welcome to another edition of Red Card Weekly. Here we mostly speak about Serie A, sometimes some international, sometimes some European. And yes, well, we're not professionals, nor do we pretend to be. Always faithfully to my right, Mr. Steve. Even though I'm not as happy as I can be, you better not screw this up, Signora Lady B. Dillo? Take it easy, take it easy. And I am Vince. Il Milan ha fatto la prima vittoria in trasferta in Serie A. E la sola cosa che voglio fare è cantare al Ballo Romina's felicità. Tavernese. Welcome guys, welcome. We're going to start you off this week. We started this whole thing last week with the whole guest thing. So this week, Steve, would you like to introduce our guest this week?
For sure. For all you calcio enthusiasts out there.
Enthusiasts.
We have. He's a 17-year-old. He loves calcio. He started his own website, which is called Ital Footy Daily. And let me tell you this, he's probably going to be the Zuckerberg of
Zuckerberg
of Italian calcio websites out there. It's Calcio Alex from Italian Footy Daily, straight from Hotlanta.
I thought it was Atalanta.
No, it's Hotlanta.
Oh, Atlanta.
Atalanta, yeah.
Oh. What's happening, Alex? How are you?
I'm doing great here on a Sunday afternoon. Glad to see you here play the way they did tonight.
Already he starts with the Juventus, Steve. Already he starts with the Juventus.
This is of all the episodes of Red Card Weekly, this is the first time we have a Juventini on, and we're really excited to have Alex on. Alex, what can you tell us? What are your thoughts on today's victory for Juve against an Udinese, which looked pretty hot in their creamsicle orange today?
That's one of my favorite Friuli kits that we've seen in the past. And today's game was almost a seizure-reducing game. It was very stressful because I've never seen a team come to the Juventus Stadium and take the game to Juve like they did. It was obviously an off game. Why? Because the wingers were just no good from the start. Pablo and Nicetti are not Juventus class wingers. And then what compounded the problem was Andrea Pirlo getting hurt. We reported that it was a knee injury. It was like a small knock just below the knee. But the game just did not flow for Juve, especially in the first half. And then to start the second half, Udinese were all over the place. I mean, Bonucci, he nearly cost a goal, or even two. Di Natale was, I mean...
That little flick he did on Bonucci was awesome. But you know what? You do have to thank Buffon, because there was a couple of shots there. They did back-to-back shots, and he stopped those ones there, because if Udinese scores that goal, I'm not saying you guys wouldn't have tied it up, but you know the game, they probably would have defended with 10 men behind. So Buffon in there, and I think he broke another record, if I'm not mistaken. He's broken his own record.
He broke his own record that was over a decade old when he played for Parma. He was incredible today. He rolled back the clock, so to speak, and it was great to see Gigi back to where he used to be, like, you know, in his 2006, 2007 era, you know, of his career, where he was honestly the best keeper in the world. The defense looked shaky. I mean, I don't know know if it was just the collapse of the Natale or is it the Champions League fatigue. It could have been a whole host of things, but we just did not look sharp in the our defensive third. That's all I have to say about the defense.
You touched on Champions League there, but before we go to your thoughts on what's going to happen these coming Champions League games, I wanted to know how do you feel Juve, like you just said today, that was not very convincing, but yet after today they're top of the table in Serie A. How do you think? What are your thoughts on the future of the Serie A Campionato, with now Juve having a little bit of a stretch lead on Roma, Fiorentina, and so on and so forth?
I think it's going to be a third consecutive Scudetto for Juventus. I'm not saying because I'm biased. I mean,
sorry, I got something in my throat. Sorry.
You just got to look at where we are. We've started the best that we ever have under the Conte era, I believe, after the so far the season. I think we'll continue to grow our lead in Serie A. But like many people are saying, the game next week against Galatasaray is the game of the season. It will not just decide the January transfer market. It will decide next year, and it will decide all the financial situation of Juventus depends on this Galatasaray game. With that being said, I'm pretty nervous, to be honest, because when you get a game like this, you're going to Turkey to play.
It's not an easy thing, and you know what? If you've seen all the other episodes, and sometimes, I do like to speak with my heart, but I truly believe that Juventus, and I've said this from the beginning, where even at that time, Francis, Steve, they used to make fun of me saying it's going to be decided at the last game. Now, they need not to lose, right? So let's ask Alex, the unbiased Alex.
The unbiased.
If you had to bet on this game, do you think they could pull off the tie? I'm not even asking about the win. Can they pull off the tie and get her done?
I think they can, but there is a big but. If Pirlo is not recovered in time, if Lichtsteiner doesn't achieve full fitness, but I still think he hasn't, if it comes down to it and we have even a defender not fit, I mean, it hinges on the fitness of this team, because on any given day, Juve can beat anybody.
True.
But we saw today, without Pirlo, this team lacks a conductor. They lack someone who can direct the play. Paul Pogba, as talented as he is not a Pirlo type of player. I think that's, not a secret. Marchisio, he's been abysmal lately.
Yeah.
He's been nowhere near where he was during Conte's inaugural season, and I probably angered a lot of fellow Juventini with that statement. But we have to be factual here. We got to say the obvious. We benched him for Paul Pogba. The 3-5-2 has never really suited Marchisio. I think, honestly, come next week, if we stick with the 3-5-2, if Pirlo's healthy, we got to start with Pogba, and we got to play. We have to come out with intensity. That was lacking the whole 90 minutes today, and it showed.
Yeah, that's a good point. The thing that bothers me is, especially having a first Juventino on the show, is guys, we have to take into perspective, and I tell Vince this too, Juve is the strongest team in Italy.
Yeah.
And I say it as a Milanista, as much as it hurts me to say it, Juve is the strongest team. We've seen a fantastic one by Rome, but some hiccups down the line, like we'll talk about later in the show. 4 ties in a row, and they've lost 8 points, if you calculate the 2 points that they didn't get. Juve, still always the team that takes advantages of these hiccups, and they're top of the table. Have we come to this point in Serie A where we say that we're afraid to go to Turkey, in Champions League as Italians? Let's face it, Juve is Italy's team. We're afraid that we're not going to get the 3 points. Guys, think about.
Like we're playing Fenerbahce. Galatasaray needs to be respected, and I think that's fair. You're going to a cauldron of a stadium. The atmosphere, as we've seen, is intense. Drogba is almost like Conte's like a mortal. He scores a lot of goals, he creates assists. You know, you can't really rule out their, what's his name?
Balut, you have Schneider over there, you got a couple of guys.
So many weapons. Yilmaz, you have so many weapons, and it takes one goal. It isn't like it's not a game played on paper. We saw Copenhagen come and they held, strong resistance until the floodgates open, so to speak. You can't rule out any team on paper. I think it'll be decided over 90 minutes. Do we come in afraid? No, I don't think we come in afraid.
Perfect.
I think we come in there determined. I think.
Conte, does he wear a hat, Conte, or not? Does Conte wear the hat? If it's raining, he's wearing the hat. Maybe his lucky hat over there for Juventus.
I couldn't blame him. You can't really blame Conte for the result unless this is another big clause. If he doesn't manage the game well, we've seen so many times he's playing to the 80th minute to make a substitution. If he cannot instill the right mindset into Juve to be attacking, it falls on him. But we all know in the Champions League we've seen some questionable decisions from referees. We've seen how those sneak attack goals and the counter attack. I mean, I'll bring up the goal Ronaldo scored against us with just a simple mistake. That's the stuff that you can't control as a man, as a coach.
Perfect.
So it's football. It will be determined over the course of 90 minutes.
Well said, well said. Now, we'll surprise everybody with an over-under question. So, over-under. How many hairs, physical hairs, have been added to Conte's famous toupee since his playing days with Juventus?
What's the number though? Is it 1,000?
I'm gonna give him the number.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Is it over 10,000 hairs physically added to Conte's toupee from his playing days?
Unbiased here you gotta be.
I think it's over.
Over 10,000 hairs.
Yes,
Perfect.
you get the prize of,
You don't get any
you don't
prize.
get anything, you get a postcard, that's what you get.
Alex, please tell everybody about Italian Football Daily, the website.
We started the website September 14th was our first day we put an article up. So we're closing on our first full quarter of business, and I have to say with what's going on behind the scenes, you look at how many runners we've got, you look at how we've really targeted certain areas to get the maximum amount of views we possibly can, and it's a great website, and with the stuff that's in the works, you're going to see us take off. 2014 is going to be a very big year for us. I look forward to being able to share everything with everybody out there, but we're going to focus a lot in the Canadian region, the northeast part of America. There's a lot of Italians in the northeast and Canada, of course, between Toronto and Montreal. So Canada's going to be a very big part of our marketing and targeting spectrum.
Just to give us...
Sorry, go ahead.
So no, just to give us like the actual, let's say the websites, the Twitter handles that you get, and you know what, this Alex, I don't know if we mentioned at the beginning, was one of the first ones to give us an opportunity. He actually put our video up on his website at the beginning. We're always going to be grateful for that, for giving a couple of nobodies from Montreal. We really appreciate it. So if you just could give out your website, your Twitter handle, everything, so everybody can know how to follow you.
You can follow us on Twitter at it's ITA_footdaily. We have a Facebook page set up, and Instagram. We're getting out in the social media world. Our website is just simply ItalianFootballDaily.com, and that's how you can find us. We post a lot of content daily. We post a lot of interviews and translate them to English, and that's how we do business on our website. I think we will become very competitive the next year.
And they also feature Red Card Weekly.
And they feature Red Card. Not right now, because they're under construction. But Steve, you called our Kumbaz over there. They're gonna make him a visit, Alex. If the video's not up in the next week, you're gonna have to go visit. You're gonna have some visit in Hot Atlanta.
I promise we'll get you guys in there.
Alex, thank you very, very much for your time. It was great. I hope we could do this again. And good luck with all your future projects with Italian Football Daily.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Alex. Till the next time. Ciao. That was very nice. We had an Americano from Hot Atlanta. That's how they call it over there.
Hot Atlanta.
Hot Atlanta. Okay. So what we're gonna do right now, we were talking a bit about Champions League at the end there. Once again, Alex, thank you very much for giving us the first website to put our videos up there, and we really, really appreciate it. And putting the Serie A love all together, right, Steve?
Yeah.
Talking about Champions League, right now we do know Juventus cannot lose.
No.
They got a point ahead, right? They have the they have the goal difference, that's fine. They cannot lose. Steve, prediction, do they get it done, yes or no?
I say they do get it done.
I say no, and I'm putting money on it. Going on to, actually, you know what? Forget that I'm Milanese. I think Galatasaray, because of that big loss that they had at home against Real Madrid, I don't know where this game is going to go. I honestly think Galatasaray at home is a stronger team, but we shall see. But for the love of Italy, yes, I would love Juventus to go. There, I said it. Okay, guys? I'm never going to repeat it again. Napoli. Who did you call for Napoli?
Napoli, we dialed into our Harvard professor in mathematics and physical nuclear chemistry and science, who has calculated basically all the possibilities. And what we would like to pass on to all the viewers of Red Card Weekly is basically Napoli has to win, and so does Olympique Marseille.
Marseille has to win. So if Napoli wins and Marseille pulls up some sort of upset against Dortmund, Milan would
Napoli
would pass. But there's so many different type of criteria. But do we see it happening, Steve? Predictions?
I unfortunately see it not happening for Naples this time.
In one way, I feel like you, but would Marseille lose all 6 games? Would they not even come up with a single result?
Yes.
All right, that's Steve's opinion. We'll see if he puts money on it. And last but not least, Milan. That a great win at Celtic, 3-0. A bit of and it was
a great win. A great win. This proves to everybody, and everybody, I'm going to tell you for the first and last time, I respect Celtic as a team. I respect the country that they play for. The ambiance is fine. Guys, we basically found a team, Celtic, who's worse on set pieces than Milan. We found a team that in the Champions League let 3 goals by from a team that was obviously struggling and had other problems. If you can't beat Milan when we have this amount of problems, it's very hard for them that they're going to ever lose a game there.
Very well said, but we need to, we actually just need to, we can't lose. We can't lose them against Ajax, so we'll see what happens there. I believe it's on Wednesday. So that's for our Champions League segment. Let's start off because we're talking about the Juventus Udinese game. Steve, we watched it here together at your house, and you know what? I was very impressed to Udinese, the way they came out. And at one point, I looked at you and I'm like, you know what? I feel bad for our friend Sonny Misios. She's a big Udinese fan, and I'm like, I have a feeling that this is the typical Serie A game where they take the opposition, you know, they take them to not to school, sorry, but they played very well. Udinese had a couple of chances. Buffon was on fire, and what happens? And not that it wasn't merit, like, you know, Loriente, fantastic reflexes and they won, but did Udinese deserve to lose this game, Steve?
They did not deserve to lose. A tie was going to be fine, but that's what happens with the bottom level teams. They need to score the goals to put the pressure on on a team like Juventus. And of course, again, like we said before, very opportunistic Juventus. What happened? They end up scoring the goal to take the 3 points. That right now is the difference between Juve and the rest of the Serie A.
You don't have to win pretty,
no.
Right? They still got it, and it's not, I'm not saying that Juventus deserved to lose. No. Very far away from that. It was a very equilibrated game, and it feels bad for a team that in the end, Udinese, what's going to happen on sheet? It's going to say 1-0, and they're not going to show what kind of performance they did. Yeah. We'd like to take a few moments to describe. First of all, we'd like to tip our hat off to Juventus,
yes,
for because of the closing of the La Curva, and they decided to put.
They had a fantastic idea where they decided to, instead of leaving the Curva empty, what they would do is invite children to attend the game and sit in the Curva, where usually you cannot, because the ultras will be there. And it was a fantastic idea that had a nice ambiance, but unfortunately, it seems like the ultras got to the little kids.
The little kids were saying, and you know what? I don't have a problem with this. I don't have a problem with like chi non salta nerazzurro, chi non salta napolitano. The whole singing. Unfortunately, the word merda when the other goalkeeper was doing it, but. You know what? As long as for me, I'm trying to look at it positively. It wasn't racist chants, right? It wasn't against the Africans in the team, and so for that. But we looked at this kind of news. Yes, it might be sad to some people, but for me, it was kind of comical.
But it's not sad. This is what, this is not unfortunate. This is what Italian soccer means to everybody in Italy.
Exactly.
It is a religion. Whether you're 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old, and today we can also include 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old.
Exactly. Saying the word merda, I don't think it's a word that they
That's
won't
what's going
learn.
to happen. Too
Exactly. Let's go over to Milan this morning at 6:30. I had a bello caffè this morning, il biscotto della nonna because she made a couple of cookies. Milan Catania. Guys, to be honest, I wasn't feeling very confident because Catania hasn't won in a long time, and when they play at home. But Milan showed la grinta today. Yes, we're losing 1-0, and at that goal, Steve, we had the possession the whole game. What
That
happened?
goal-
A little blooper over there, and
The goal that Catania scored against Milan at the 13th minute was exactly a summary of Milan's season so far.
perfectly said. Perfectly said.
Defense in shambles, unlucky bounce,
Yeah.
and ends up in the back of the net.
Yeah.
What I do have to say is I watch every Milan game. I try to either online or on different channels. Yes, it was a positive game, but unfortunately the off-field antics are still going to be prime to everything that Milan does, and this one was no short of another incident that we have. Beautiful goal by Mario Balotelli.
Yeah, very nice. And you know what? It was very unfortunate, and I really hope it's not true.
Yeah.
But I think deep down it is. Supposedly, Nicolas Poli, Mario. If you guys saw the foul, he actually got up right away, went straight to his face. Kaká had to come and calm him down. And supposedly he used the N-word, and he put the merda at the end.
And this is the N-word, but the Latin American.
The Latin American word,
The
the whole
Luis
Suarez N-word, but you know what I like to see from there was Kaká from the middle of the field coming right away, trying to calm him down. Mario, we needed you here, and I think it was a very good move from Allegri to take him out.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't that much time, but take him out, tell him to relax, everything is fine. And what did he do, Mario? Did you see as soon as he walked up, because they were whistling him the whole game?
Yeah.
And he went like this to the crowd. So you know what, Mario, you're showing a lot of pride, and even on that goal, the whole team got together.
Yeah.
They want to celebrate. So maybe this whole soap opera that's happening with Lady B, with Adriano, with Berlusconi, Maldini in here, maybe it's taking away the pressure from the team, and let's see if they can perform like this, especially against Ajax.
This
next
is
week.
perfect management of the media.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even think I need to go through 4 or 5 different pictures for this one. Again, I think this picture, Steve, explains it all. And this morning we coordinated, me and Steve. He watched this game here. I watched the Inter game, so we could have different perspectives. Steve, is it really a thing of not having luck whatsoever? Is it that they deserve to tie, they deserve to win?
This is a perfect storm for Roma. It's a combination of injuries. They have everybody who plays striker except Gervinho injured. They are lacking Totti. As we saw today, we saw De Rossi, who came off quite early, and after the game, Garcia said that he was not fit. Guys, but Roma, they need to pull some wins together because, like I said, and I mentioned to Alex, these are 4 ties in a row. Yes, they are not losses, they're ties. But if you look at it, there's 1 point for a tie, 3 points for a win. That 2 points is what's killing Roma right now. In those four ties, they've lost 8 points.
But Steve, the way I look at it, I'm going to try to look at the flip of the coin, is that if I'm a Roma fan, first of all, there's no Roma fan out there that would have predicted them being where they are right now. Now, they haven't lost a game yet. And for me, if Roma was my team, with all these injuries that they have, and they still haven't lost, and they're getting the ties, and you know what? Yes, the luck, there was a couple of rigores that should have been given to Roma, but hey guys, this is Serie A, this is culture, the ball is round.
Well said.
I still think that if this hiccup that Roma is going through right now are only ties, I think it's a positive thing for them. And let's be honest, I don't think their goal for the season was to win the Scudetto, probably just to make Champions League, or even just make Europe at that point.
That's fine, I totally agree with you, but what I don't disagree is that you don't find yourself top of the table with Serie A with not losing a game very often. And now, you're not top of the table anymore without losing a game. This is very hard, not only to Romanista fans, but mentally to the players on the field. Every 2-foot pass now feels like a through ball or a ball that has to go through 900 people. The pressure is mounting on these guys.
As long as, you know what, if Roma starts winning the games against the big guys, then we'll see where they go from over there. Inter today, Inter Sampdoria, which I had to watch on Bein Sport in Español. Sí, Walter Barzari, Rodrigo Palacio.
Very good, Beans, very good.
Very good, la pelota, la cabeza. Inter in the first half, number one, all over the pitch, playing very well. And then in the 45th minute, when they came back on, they decided to take a little nap. And Sampdoria, I have to tip my hat off to them because they never stopped playing. Now, I don't know if it's this whole Sinisa Mihajlovic it's come out with a different kind of style of play, but until the end, they were taking shots, and if you guys saw the goal by Renan there at the end, fantastic goal from outside, and you know what? For you to take a shot like that, you're not a superstar, you're taking chances, you're going after it, and probably they saw that, you know, Inter was a bit slowed down, so yes, they came up with a tie with Tor here, his first game at the San Siro, but I don't think that this is a big, wouldn't be a big alarm for Interistas.
No.
Yeah, we're taking a dip, but if you got to do these kind of hiccups, better off getting, again, like we always speak about, a tie then. But Sampdoria, kudos to them for always believing.
Yet this still affects the table because if Inter would have won, they would have surpassed.
That's true. But we do have still tomorrow, Steve, we do have Napoli and Lazio playing tomorrow. We have Fiorentina and Verona playing tomorrow. We didn't have a 2:45 game today, but let's finish it off with you guys. You see our Red Card Weekly page. We did a video, a tribute video for all Milanistas. We'd like to thank everybody again that, you know, supports us and retweets us. Thank you to Tutto Serie A from England.
Yes.
I think he works for the Queen, by
Wow.
the way. The Queen requested us to be on the website, Red Card Weekly. Thank you very much. We're going to go with our red cards. Steve, I'm going to start off with the red card. My red card is going to go to the Lazio fans. That in, yes, I believe it was Poland. 170 of them got arrested, which some of them were women. And you won and you qualified for the next route. Like, guys, seriously, why do you always have to be the bad side of, like, just enjoy the win, take your things, go home. Like, why do I have to throw this on? And obviously, because we're Italian and Lazio fans and they're this and they're that, they made this whole big stink about it. I believe they kept 120 people overnight in jail. I just, like, you know what? I hate it because I think I hate more the bad press. And these Lazio fans should know better. You should just be celebrating with your fans. And you know what? We're going to the next stage in Europa League. And you know Serie A is not doing that very well. Don't get arrested. Seriously, don't get arrested.
My red card goes to Udine and their creamsicle second jersey. Guys,
I think it's the third one.
Third, whatever it is, guys.
Creamsicle?
It's a creamsicle. The orange creamsicles, the ones that you buy at the grocery store from Del Monte.
I'm gonna go to the camera.
Guys, you're a professional soccer team. I mix it up. Throw a little black in there. You guys are black and white. And all of a sudden, you show up on the field against Juventus at Juventus Stadium with your creamsicle soccer jerseys. Guys, that's all for us today. Thank you very, very much to Calcio Alex, Tutto Serie A, and Italian Football Daily, and Serie A Live Radio, SerieAlive.com. Everybody, thank you very much. Ciao.
And Steve, thanks for giving me access to your canteen for all that beer. I appreciate it.
No problem. Take
Ciao.
it easy.